Right, let's quickly shuffle some cards and tune into the general collective energy. What is going on? What do they need to hear? And of course, as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Not every message is going to be for you. And also not all of the message is going to be for you. So take what resonates. Right, let me just focus. What have I got in here? Oh my god, like, can we get away from this energy? Right, okay. Ace of Pentacles, Five of Cups, with the moon in here, and the Ten of Cups. Look at the freaking confusion of this energy. So with this, it feels that there is some kind of some sort of energy attached to you at the moment, that you, with this moon in here, I feel that you might struggle to let go in some way of, you know, with this Ten of Cups, it feels that, you know, you did maybe, or you do still feel there to be like, you know, this ultimate happy ever after, this everything with this person. But, you know, with this moon and this Five of Cups, it feels that, you know, there's something, some events of the past or some disappointments of the past that maybe stood in a way of this connection becoming something valuable, something solid, something real. But I feel like, you know, when it comes to feelings as well, looking at this Ten of Cups and the moon, I feel, you know, there is some realness to it. Like, you know, it's not, you know, all just the pure imagination. But also having this Magician here with the Four of Swords, Judgment, and the Seven of Swords, I feel it refers to someone. It might be you, it might be other person in this connection. Pardon me. Yeah, there's somebody here who is like stuck, and I feel like, you know, me actually losing that voice in the same time is quite significant. So it might refer here to a person who struggles with that self-expression. You're looking at this trumpet on that Judgment. So and also with this, but this Magician, it feels like, you know, but being next to a Four of Swords, I feel like there's like a disruption to one's personal powers, and like even this belief that you know, they can manifest anything that they want, that they actually are powerful within themselves, you know, like that they can have anything that they want. And I feel like, you know, this Four of Swords energy is currently where they are at, in this hibernation, in this rest, in this not doing, non-motion, just looking out that window, you know, hoping and thinking what could have been. But I feel with this as well, like, you know, in the similar colors that are in this window and on that Magician card. So I feel this is precisely this contemplation that this person is finding themselves in, and they're thinking about, you know, ways of bringing about this new beginning in their life, and also leaving all the past behind. Like, you know, I feel there's a bit of a struggle with, you know, letting go of that past. There's this crying over this spilled milk, or maybe holding on to pain too much as well. With the Seven of Swords though, in this Judgment, so I feel like, you know, it refers to somebody who, like, first thought that came through is like, you know, they struggle to wake up, they struggle maybe to see the truth. And I feel like, you know, with this Seven of Swords energy, they do even lie in front of themselves, they're running away from themselves, like, you know, they're running away from this big power that they have within themselves. They like kind of in this non-action, non-motion energy at the moment. Right, I feel there is a lot more to dive into this, but with the new way I'm doing it, and actually it's working, you know, it's saving me a lot of storage. Let's not forget, you know, TikTok is an app designed for short videos, so I feel like, you know, a lot of meaningful messages are getting lost in the algorithm. So I want to kind of, you know, divert you. If you felt anything of that resonates, I want to divert you to my YouTube channel. I will post the links, and also that's my handle as well, you can follow me there. So okay, I'm gonna dive deeper in there. I'm gonna post all the links as well. So for those who feel interested, please go ahead and let's dive in a little bit deeper into this message. Okay, so let's shuffle more cards and let's dive deeper into this energy. And I feel it has to do a lot with some very strong connection here, and somebody who is in a very big way hiding away from it, or was hiding away from it. Let's see what's what else is coming in regards to this. High Priestess, Nine of Wands, the Emperor, Knight of Swords, and the Fool is here as well. Wow, okay, so I feel this refers, this like a confirmation of the energy of the person that this soulmate, this rest period refers to, and this blockage is referred to. So I feel it has a lot to do with the person, like, you know, with this High Priestess, Nine of Wands. So somebody who, due to, you know, High Priestess is above a sensitive energy as well. So somebody with a sensitive nature, somebody with possibly as well some gifts of their own, like, you know, some spiritual gifts as well coming through with this as well. And with the 9 of Wands, so it feels like, you know, this is referring to somebody who has been beaten down, somebody who has been hurt in the past, somebody who is carrying a lot of weight on their shoulders as well, a lot of pain, a lot of wounds. And that's why I feel like, yeah, what's coming through as well, and I feel this is the reason, it's their own personal wounds, and whatever they've been through is the reason for, you know, this soulmate, is the reason for, you know, this separation as well. You're looking at this Moon card again. But with this Knight of Swords and this Emperor and this Fool as well. So I feel like, you know, when it comes to somebody here wants to like really step up their game. Somebody wants to really really become this leader, like this caretaker, somebody who is confident within themselves, confident within their energy. And I feel like, you know, with that, when they actually, and I feel this is precisely what they're actually arriving at right now. So I'm really picking up with this energy. Like, you know, it might feel like, yeah, with this 4 of Swords, this Moon, it might feel like, you know, they are not doing much, but they're doing quite a lot. They are doing their healing work. And that's why, you know, there might be, at the moment, you know, a little bit withdrawn or a little bit quiet. But I feel like, you know, in this quiet time, in this contemplation, there is like this thinking of the way coming forward, this thinking of like, you know, what sort of message or invitation to come towards you with. Because like, you know, with this Fool, there's a Sun as well. But with this Fool, there's this feeling of like, you know, wanting this new beginning. And yeah, the Ace of Swords is coming out as well. 6 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. Had seen 2 of Swords on the bottom. So I feel like, you know, with this 2 of Swords on the bottom, so this is this hidden kind of obstacle, which is this indecisiveness of that person, or somebody who lives too much in their head, like, you know, they're closing themselves off from communication, from real life, like, you know, and they just live in, and they, whatever world they create for themselves, like, you know, this 9 of Pentacles. So I feel like, you know, this person is at the moment at the stage of restoring that self-value, maybe like, you know, building this secure ground for themselves. So that's why I might feel that, you know, they are not, or they were not ready to communicate or to come forward, because, you know, they're still busy working on something. That wasn't upside down. The Sun, and also with this Ace of Swords and the 6 of Wands. So this heavily speaks clarity. This speaks understanding what comes through as well. And with the 6 of Wands, it's like a big energy of like, you know, coming out on top. And it's like a successful vibe coming through with that. Like, you know, it's there's a Hanged Man as well. So yeah, things are on pause at the moment. But 2 of Cups is shown as well. So yeah, you're dealing with a soulmate energy in here, and there's a Wheel of Fortune as well. So I feel like, you know, this is for a lot of you what kind of strongly comes through as well. It's like, that's why no matter how much you try, you can't seem to let go of this connection, because it feels like, you know, there's something fated about it. There's something that, you know, with this Hanged Man as well, I feel like ever since sort of crossing paths with this person, like, you know, you as well grew massively spiritually. You've learned a lot about yourself, about life, I feel as well. So it's not like anything has been really lost. But I would like to get some, I'm going to get some cards from my other deck for confirmation of this message. But I would like to know, I was just about to say before this just flew off, what it will be the outcome, possible outcome of this connection. And I just had the Hierophant just flying out. And this is a marriage card. This is a commitment card. This is like, you know, real stuff card as well. So I feel like for a lot of you, something real, something like after you both learn all the necessary lessons, what I'm kind of hearing as well, this is when this is going to come in. Yeah, 2 of Cups, Knight of Cups with the 6 of Cups. So the moment, like, you know, I feel there's some kind of decision, and I feel both of you need to make this decision. Yeah, there's a 4 of Pentacles with the 3 of Swords hiding on the bottom. So I feel this refers to which one shall I get? I'll go for lights here. What was I gonna say? So this with this 3 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles, I feel this is like this hidden blockages yet again. So it refers to, like, you know, the overprotectiveness of one's energy and the needing to withdraw because of, you know, heartbreaks, or the feeling of that, you know, things will repeat again, that, you know, it's like a boundary, keeping yourself safe from breaking that heart again. And I feel like, you know, somebody in here is very overprotective of getting hurt again. But also, like, you know, looking at that Fool, I just seen a Fool card in my mind. It feels that, you know, nothing comes without a little bit of risk. You have to take some risk. So for whoever is watching this message, like, you know, sometimes happiness, looking at the Sun again, is not going to come in without a little bit of risk. But there's a 9. Why do I always call it 9 of Hermit? It's a Hermit card for number 9. So with this one, it feels like, yeah, this is definitely really speaking of, and this is the energy of the person who is currently in that thinking space, in that cave, going through a massive retrospection, going within. Yeah, just wait. Ace of Swords is here again. 2 of Wands is here again. So this is the they are in this energy in that cave to, you know, think, literally, like they thinking, and obviously, like with this 2 of Wands, like, you know, her being like literally inside and looking at that window, thinking of the possibilities. So I feel this is the energy of that person, like, you know, they are at the moment in this thinking space. And you know, with this Ace of Swords, so it feels like, you know, there's some kind of a deeper clarity waking up within them, I feel. But are they going to be ready to reconcile with my viewer, with my collective? What is going to happen? Hold on. 3 of Swords on the bottom again. So I feel like, yeah, this is, oh my god, you're dealing with the energy that likes to hold on to their pain. Yeah, 4 of Swords again. And this 3 of Swords. So yeah, so with this energy, like, you know, I feel like they are still a little bit hurt. They are still withdrawn. Wow, okay, well, we had 8 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles. So I feel with this energy, definitely there is some kind of message, some kind of communication coming through. I feel like, you know, like us coming back to the fact of them really working on themselves, really working on being able to stand back up on their feet and move forward with their life as well. And I think it's going to start with communicating something to you. Maybe some of you are even due some sort of apology in here. Yeah. There's a High Priestess, Knight of Swords as well. So this is like an energy of I feel like this refers to them having some sort of spiritual download, or maybe having some sort of conversation with their spirit guides. Because yet again, coming back to this, there's an energy of this person being very spiritual, but very blocked off. Like, you know, there's some kind of, they are under some kind of attack at the moment. But, you know, they are very strong, like, you know, having the Emperor as well. They are very strong and they're going to push through it. And I feel with this High Priestess in here, like, you know, they are currently, you know, receiving some sort of information, some sort of downloads whenever they in their own meditative state. I feel like they do meditate a lot as well. And with this Knight of Swords, it feels like, you know, this is the energy of them, like, in their mind, what comes through as well, in their mind, they are already on the way to you. They are already sort of with you. That's why maybe a lot of you, yeah, with this High Priestess energy as well, 6 of Wands again. So with this High Priestess energy, I feel like, you know, the both of you, when it comes to, you know, telepathical bond and how you communicate outside of this 3D as well, like, you know, I feel like you are so fucking connected. It's actually crazy. Yeah, this 4 of Cups is coming out with the 6 of Wands. So I feel this is the energy of the both of you at the moment. It feels like, you know, there is not much emotional fulfillment, because, you know, it feels like you did recognize, because, like, you know, 6 of Wands is also big recognition energy. So I feel like, you know, you did both recognize each other, and you do both recognize the bond between the two of you. There is something between the two of you that you can't seem to forget as well. And with this 4 of Cups, what it makes me feel is like, no matter what, where you try to kind of divert your energy or your attention, where you, like, even trying to kind of, you know, move on, or even trying to let go of this, it feels like, you know, it's far too important to do that. And it feels like no other energy seems to match the way you felt with this person. And that's why you kind of, you know, might feel yourself to be a little bit hanged up. There's a World on the bottom, and Queen of Cups is showing as well. So it feels like when it comes to with this Worlds that we just seen as well, so I feel like, you know, there is a closing. Oh my god. And I got like a little, what's the word for it? My heart skipped a beat. My heart skipped a beat. Oh my god, Hierophant here as well again, and Ace of Pentacles is showing. But oh my god, I've lost what I was just saying. So yeah, this coming back to the feeling that you had, like, you know, and then how seen and recognized you might have felt yourself to be with that person, even if it was for a short period of time. But I feel this is what keeps you strongly hooked up on them, and this is what makes it impossible for you to kind of let go of that. And you crave this energy, like, you know, to be close to you again. But having this Queen of Cups and King of Cups in here as well. So this is like you are both very tuned in as well, coming back to this, and you are both very sensitive and very spiritual. And I feel like because of the sensitive nature of the both of you, that's why, oh my god, there was a word for it. Like, none of you wants to sort of disturb the other one, if that makes sense. So that's why you might be in parts, like, you know, creating that distance. I feel as well, like, you know, it has a lot to do, it's funny, like, because when you look at Queen of Cups, you know, the feminine energy in this connection. So I feel like, you know, with her having his hands up and just letting it to the universe and putting the full trust in this connection and just let it things happen as they need to, you know, without any resisting, without any sending any negative energies, without any blocking, you know. She's a pure clean channel of energy. And you know, when it comes to King of Cups, the masculine in this connection, I feel like, you know, when you look at him, like, in how peaceful he is and how calm he is, and I feel this heavily refers to them, like, you know, not really allowing anybody to rock their boat, and I feel like, you know, they prefer this, and coming back to this meditative state, like, you know, and I did mention, like, you know, this person definitely does meditate, and they do receive some sort of information from their higher self, from their guides during their meditation, and I feel they do receive a lot in regards to you. And I feel like, you know, you two are so strongly connected, like, you know, and I feel like, you know, even the both of you can't fully comprehend it, right? Let's just quickly check what's on the bottom. I had Seven of Swords again showing on the table, so like I feel there's no full exposure in here, there's no full communication. I feel like, you know, the both of you are still haven't fully communicated to each other about how much you care about one another. So yeah, on the bottom we had the Ace of Pentacles again, and this is the second time it's coming out. I had it in my other deck. There's a lot of cards that are repeating themselves. There's a Nine of Cups with a Page of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and the Lovers. So I feel this Queen of Pentacles as well refers to your energy to stay grounded, to stay patient, like, you know, and with this Three of Wands as well. So I feel like, you know, for a lot of you, this means, like, you know, for the time being, like, you know, move on with your life, get on with your life, do your own thing. And, you know, when it comes to the 5D, you know, just send your counterpart, like, you know, all the love that you want and all the love that they need, but also don't forget about yourself, and don't forget about living in the moment, living in the now, and having the experience currently. Because I feel like, you know, there's a lot of experiences, a lot of fun things for you on the horizon as well. And, you know, with you trying to kind of just wait for something, like, you know, like sitting here and waiting patiently. But I feel this is like your message as well in here to get on with your life, like, you know. And even when it comes to all the possible romantic connections as well, what's coming through with that, like, you know, don't close yourself off completely, like, you know, because there's so many other different souls and people that might inspire you on your journey, that might help you on your journey. Like, you know, nothing is always coming in to kind of last forever. Like, you know, sometimes things are coming in just to plant a little seeds, just to help us a little bit on our path. And yeah, there's the Empress as well. To help us a little bit on our path. So with this Empress as well, this Nine of Wands strength, I feel like, you know, when it comes to you, you know, you had your share of pain and share of disappointments as well. Like, you know, you had to overcome quite a lot. And don't forget that. Like, you know, you might have, you know, love for your twin flame, for that, you know, very strong soulmate connection in here. But, you know, it feels that at the moment, like the heartbreak that they're going through, whatever they're going through, is their work to do. Like, you know, it's nothing to do, you know, you've done your work. You want something that's, you know, equally reciprocated, like, you know, no conflicts, no sex, no somebody second guessing you, you know your energy, you know how far you've came. And if they want you, they need to kind of work for it as well, and they need to show up on your fucking level and deliver what you fucking deserve. In the meantime, go and have fucking fun. Okay, love you, bye.